So they're taking away food stamps on November 1st. That's my birthday, bro. But let's see what people are saying about it right now.
Trump cutting off food stamps right before Thanksgiving, bad and all, but my people ran out of stores. With the cart full, I bet it's going to be some turkey on my plate. Ham, mashed potatoes, greens, dressing. It's going to all be there. Don't worry about it.
Okay, this is already going to get ridiculous. You know, we talked about grocery store prices on here so a couple of times. I know you guys love those videos. My name is Quan. Welcome to the Quan Bailey Show. I actually recently picked up a part-time job. That's one of the reasons I haven't been here lately. I've been focusing on my business and focusing on work, because when I can't afford things or need things, we got to do to keep the household going, right? Let's get into what's going on with the food stamps being taken away, because this is a very serious topic. Let's see how people are reacting to it, then we'll get into why and what's actually going on, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
My kids have not eaten in 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Trump done cut no food stamps off.
If you're poor, don't have kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have two, don't go having another one. If you have one, don't go having two more.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the scamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio.
It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents. If you're watching a video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking you.
Okay, so let's be very serious and very real about what's happening right now. People are losing access to food, right? And I want to hear you guys' opinions of everything down below. But we also know there have been a ton of people over years, even people in my own family, who have, taken advantage of this system for, at least decades. But I do think that what's going on is very serious. I don't think it's something to be made fun of or a joke, but I definitely think we need to have a discussion on what people should do. We have a shutdown going on in the government here in America. For those of you who aren't American or don't live in America who follow me, and it's really scary times. My birthday is November 1st, and I keep laughing because I just really am scared for the grocery store workers and the people who are going to have to deal with things getting pushed over and things getting ransacked and people going through so much just because people need to have food, right? It's a really tough situation. Let's hear what the government says is happening, or what the news says is happening with the food stamps, why it's all happening, what's going on with the shutdown, etc., as of the 26th of October.
The pain from the government shutdown is growing, now well into its 4th week. SNAP benefits for more than 40 million Americans could run out on November 1st. At least one expert is predicting this could potentially trigger the greatest hunger catastrophe in the U.S. since the Great Depression. Here's ABC's Alex Prochet.
Tonight, with the government shutdown well into its 4th week, millions of Americans are bracing for an even bigger strain. On Friday, more than 500,000 federal workers missed their first full paycheck. Another 700,000 plus are set to join them this week. And starting next weekend, federal SNAP food assistance benefits for some 40 million Americans will run out. The USDA website now with this stark warning. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. The message blaming the shutdown on Senate Democrats. Democratic leadership pushing back.
We've maintained from the very beginning and continue to maintain we will sit down anytime, any place with anyone.
For now, millions of Americans are preparing for the worst. Food banks inundated.
We're trying to stock up before something happens.
This D.C. food pantry trying to keep up with demand. Most Sundays they serve 300 families. Today, they're on pace for 400.
I just helped this one lady. She was like, I didn't think I was going to have to be here, but God willing, the government's going to open up next week.
Air traffic controllers calling out sick and taking second jobs, leading to staffing shortages at major airports in Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Newark. LAX temporarily issuing a ground stop. Our Faith Abube is at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport.
Here in Atlanta, the TSA security lines mirroring what they usually look like during peak holiday travel, with some travelers taking about an hour just to get through.
And Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent today warning that funds to pay the military will soon run out.
We managed to find the money in the middle of October to pay our brave service members, and I think we'll be able to do it on November 1st, but we're going to be out of money on November 15th. And, for a military not to get paid is a disgrace.
Lindsay, a vote to fund the government has failed in the Senate 12 times now, and the House is scheduled to be on recess for what would be its 5th consecutive week. And through it all, this Congress still gets paid. Lindsay?
So, I mean, hearing that, it puts things in perspective, right? It's not just the food stamps first. So for everyone who's worried about just that, which it's such a hard thing, it seems like with the shutdown, it's affecting a lot of jobs. 40 million people are affected, right? If not more. And once the military on the 15th loses their money, that's going to get really, really wild. And I want to ask you guys' opinion, man. I'm not educated enough to fully understand why they would let people go hungry and why we would keep the government shut down. I don't really understand, but I wanted to put this on this channel because that's what it's for. It's to have a discussion. It's to have a conversation. And I'm asking you guys to tell me in the comments like what you think is the right thing to do. What do we do in this situation? I don't want to see people go hungry, but I do understand in terms of the food stamps part, the EBT part, I've seen so many people take advantage of the system, but I don't think let's say there's 20 million people, the million people that took advantage, it shouldn't affect the lives of the other 19 million that need it, right? So I'm torn because ethically I understand that people should be able to support themselves, but also ethically I understand that people fall on hard times. Things happen. I was a child who was on food stamps for a time, right? Not as an adult, but this is something that kept me fed at one point in my life, right? And so it's just really, really tough. I just don't want people to go hungry, but I also don't think that should be an excuse for people to commit crimes. But what are people supposed to do? I think if you go into a store and you do something bad, I think that is on you. But part of me is also like, I don't understand, right? It's a lot. And I hope this doesn't offend anyone because I really am asking for your opinion. This is not one of those things where I'm like, I think that, dude, I'm not the guy. I don't know. I don't really understand truly what's going on. But I think that this is something we have to talk about. Those crash out videos, people have laughed at them. They can be a little bit funny, but these are people in their rawest and roughest forms. So I would say, man, make sure we're praying for each other. Make sure we are praying for some sort of resolution with the government shutdown. I mean, so many people losing everything in a holiday time seems a little ridiculous to me. And if someone could explain to me why we're not just coming to some sort of agreement to fix this, let me know. Again, I don't know. So do not come at me. I'm just asking the question, folks, all right? So do me a favor, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're going to have some way more positive videos coming up. We got some videos about Chinese cars and how crazy they are coming up. We've got some videos about the cost of apartments in other countries. So comment a country down below that you would like to know what the cost of living is like. We can look at food, housing, all that good stuff. And let's look at some more things that's going on with the cost of properties in the United States as well. We talk about all things finance and social issues out here. So I appreciate and love you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. It's been a while. Thanks for rocking with your boy. I'm working a lot more, but I'm glad to be here with you guys. And all jokes aside, I just hope people are okay. I appreciate and love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, folks. Whew, this is tough.